and labor intensive it is to be at the bedside to take care of people. And I have found out throughout the years that they're not in good shape. You gotta stand on your feet for 8, 12, 13 hours. You have to push, shove, hold people, move people who say they're going to move, but they don't. And it's very difficult because what I have found is the younger people are not able to be physically fit to do the work, okay? So I'm concerned about this, and I did go to the Centers for Disease Control, and I did go to State of Illinois Public Health, and what I found out is that in 2009, 17.6 of adolescents had high body mass index for their age. So they were overweight. My concern is that they're not physically fit either, okay? The other thing is the consequence of increased caloric intake and decreased physical activity. So I'm going to say they have great thumbs, okay? Great thumbs, great fingers. And in fact, I did some research and they're finding earlier and earlier for orthopedic surgeons, they're having to do surgery on the ligaments and the attachments for the fingers and the thumbs for people in their 20s because ergonomically of structurally using their fingers that aren't meant just to do that for such a long time. Now the other thing is, you know, they're not out there working on the farms like they used to. They're not out there doing things that they have to do. And I have come in contact with people who can't afford to be in the sports. I have students in my class that cannot afford to be on the sports team. They have to pay, I guess, for uniforms, or they have to pay a fee, they have to enroll. And if there are several people in the family, children, they can't afford it because we're in times that are rough for people and on a fixed budget. So I wanted you to know about that. So the availability of unhealthy food and drink options. I see Red Bull, I see Gatorade in the morning, I see Mountain Dew, I see all sorts of drinks I don't even know what they are. Those never used to be available, but they're in my classroom at 7 in the morning, but the calorie is huge. So, and then poor decision making, okay? Now, we're gonna go to the next slide, and this isn't going to be a surprise for you, about obesity related to healthcare costs, and risk factors include chronic medical conditions. You know we're all gonna live longer, and we do. Now, I didn't say we had a good quality of life, but we do live longer because of pills, procedures, treatments, things like that, okay? So I want you to realize that diabetes is on the rise across the nation, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke, heart disease, cancer, and arthritis. Everything is on the rise, but I want you to understand that people are getting diagnosed earlier and living with these longer, so the cost is more. The other thing is increased healthcare use and expenditures. Very, very high. One thing is, has everybody seen those pictures with the milk mustaches? Aren't they cute? In the magazines and things. Why do you think you see those? And I'm sorry, I like to talk, so this is going to be very hard for me for 10 minutes. Anybody got an idea why you see those? It's good for what? Good for you. Good for you, okay. Somebody else said something. To make you drink milk. Sponsored by the Dairy Board, okay? And I can tell you that's costing the government billions of dollars each year because of people with broken hips and Medicare and Medicaid, because once you lose weight bearing for your legs because your hip is broken and you have osteoporosis, you are dependent on someone to take care of you, and long-term care is very expensive. So it looks cute, they want you to drink milk, but I'm here to tell you that it's because it's costing the government so much money for care for people. The other thing is $117 billion direct and indirect costs. And that means diagnostic, it means preventive services, treatment services, and then also loss of income and taxes, right? For jobs and people being disabled and workman's comp, okay? So I want you to realize all those things. The other thing is insurance and obesity. And I found this very, very interesting when I started looking at this, because some people are predisposed to medical conditions or have a previous history and you're not covered then. So your insurance covers you sometimes. So that means you're underinsured, okay? And they're not going to take care of it all the time. And there's a lot of bankruptcy with that because people just can't afford once they have a catastrophic illness in their family. The other thing is weight bias. That's very interesting when I started reading about that. Weight bias. So people who are really obese do not go to the doctor because of the stigma that's attached to it and how they are treated by healthcare providers. And there's actually Kaiser Permanente in California, and they are talking about making a kit to help inform doctors and medical staff that they should not treat people because they won't come back for their weight or for preventive services or to stay on a regimen to be healthy. So weight bias is out there too. So functional impairment leading to reduced ability for people being independent and do their activities of daily living for obesity. Employment opportunities are lost, and underinsured and uninsured. And if you think we don't have that in McHenry County, you are sorely mistaken. We have approximately one place to send people to have to pay on a sliding scale for men, women, and children in McHenry County, and it's rising. Okay, so I just want you to be aware that my interest and my passion is public health, and I think everyone deserves free health care whether you have insurance or not. So if I seem harsh, I can be, but that's because I really care about everyone's health. I looked at Illinois Department of Public Health for Illinois Strategic Plan, which I didn't know they had one, but thank God. 2007 to 2013, and I don't know if you can see it from here, but the first one here should be overweight, obese adults, and they go by county. And so when I look at that, it says that McHenry County, and this is in 2007, percentage of adults who are overweight or obese is 58 to 64.9%. Wow, we need bigger chairs. 58 to 64.9%. The other one that's there that you see for McHenry County is physical activity standard for people who are inactive, and that's between 2004 and 2006, and it's 43.9% to 53.5%.
Could you say what the key is? I can't see it from here.
I know. The first one, can you see the title though? Overweight, obese adults. Oh, it's white. It's the second one in from the...
I can't see what those numbers are.
Oh, I just said 58.6 to 64.9%.
So the light colors is low numbers? And
The light color, the very light color is 47.7 to 58.5%. So McHenry County's in the higher bracket. Okay.
What's the big dark?
65% to 77.1%.